say it's connected yet. Hello, everybody. Are we on? Okay. I know it's always like that waiting, especially when you're not direct on Facebook. So
Totally.
hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Giving it a little bit of a second here and make sure that we're live. If you are live with us, please just let us know. Okay, I'm in the group and it looks like we are in there. So it must be working. So I'm going to do that. And I forgot to do this. Okay, so hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Lori, as you probably know, except if you're showing up on Jana's page. And I am here with Jana Nixa, the amazing authentic sales coach. And she's honestly so much more than just that, but she is a sales expert and specifically as I said, the authentic sales coach. And she really helps her clients and our members in the Strategy and Support Society to do exactly what we were saying here in the title, and that is to sell with ease and without sleaze. Because I think a lot of people really, when it comes to sales, think that this is something, hey Jonas, thanks for tuning in, that sales is something that is sleazy, that you feel too salesy, that you kind of get that ick factor when it comes to sales, and a lot of people then get really stopped up when it comes to the act of selling. So that's why Jana's here and wanted to talk to her a little bit. So hello from the UK. Hello, everybody. Let us know again that you are live. If you're watching the replay, let us know that you are watching the replay. And okay, Jana, I would love for you to introduce yourself. I know I gave you a little bit of an introduction, but tell us a little bit about you, about what brought you into this space, and yeah, we'll just kind of go from there, right?
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that introduction there. So yes, hello, everybody. I'm Jana Nixa, the authentic sales coach. And as Lori said, so much more. I appreciate that. Not to minimize what sales is in any way, shape, or form, because if there's anything I see a lot of my clients and coaches in general struggle with, it is this part of the process. You know, we are great at talking about what we love and our passion, but that part where we actually have to really ask somebody if they want to work with us or not in some way, shape, or form. I've seen even some of the biggest thought leaders on the planet, which will remain nameless, struggle with this part of the conversation. So that's what we're here to talk about today, but a little bit about me. So I actually spent 21 years as a top performing sales executive in the medical sales world. So one thing I learned very early on is I'm not even sure how I ended up there. Because after we went through training and stuff, I was like, this does not sound like me at all. Like, what am I going to do here? How am I going to do this? I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be sleazy. You know, I want to be me. And so luckily, somehow I had enough intuitive connection at like 23 years old to go, I think I'm going to do this my way. And so that really was the number one key to my success for over 2 decades and over 40,000 sales calls later is that I really gave myself, I know I tallied it up one day because I was listening to some other sales guru guy and he's like 5,000 sales calls. And here's what I'm like, I wonder how many I've had. And after I added it all up, it was at least 40,000. And that was like being very generous in terms of like vacation days. And I know.
40,000. Okay, this is why you're listening to get today, everyone. FYI, because 40,000 sales calls.
What's even cooler about it, Lori, is it's at least 30,000 of those, if not more, were doing it in a way that actually felt good to me. And I was able to speak from my heart. And so flash forward to about 8-9 years ago, I started to get this sort of intuitive knowing that there was more for me. You know, I thought I was done, like easy peasy. I'm going to just do this. Check. I'm done. And it just became very, very apparent to me that there was more for me. And this idea of service started to come into my world. And so after doing a lot of different coaching certifications and everything, and it finally all culminated in me helping other coaches and visionary entrepreneurs, particularly those trailblazers out there, learn to get their message out in a way that feels good to them and to connect with their soulmate clients in a way that doesn't have to be any of that stuff that we've learned to think that sales has to be. So I'm here to shift that paradigm. That's all.
That's all. Just a little bit. I just want to say hi to everybody that's tuning in. I know we said hi to Jonas. We've got Leslie watching from the UK and Bernard from New York, and I think a couple other people in here that said hi. So hello, everybody. Thank you again. And as you're coming in, just say hi to us. Let us know too. And for those of you who are already in it and you already have your businesses, please share. As we're going to, we want to hear from you. What is your experience been with sales? Not like 40,000 sales calls, but how does sales make you feel? Let's ask that question. How does sales make you feel? And you can answer in one word. You can answer in one word if you want to. How does what does it make you feel like to sell? So, Jana, I just have to say, like, your background is so incredibly impressive, and that's, yes, definitely used to make you feel icky.
Yeah.
Alexa. And that's, I think, what a lot of people, like I said, it's like that ick factor, right? Like, we just feel that it's just, we shouldn't be somehow like talking about our offers, or that by talking about what we have to offer, we're somehow like making people think something of us that really isn't true. A lot of times it's just in our own head, right? That we're creating these feelings. No, again, yes, used to make me feel icky. So I like the fact that it says used to. So hopefully that means it's no longer icky. But what would you say to someone that if they said to you, Jana, like, sales makes me feel icky? Like, what would come from that?
Well, you touched on something that's so important, because it is like everything, it's multidimensional, right? Multifaceted. So yes, there are a few mindset inner hurdles that we have to come to grips with around what sales really is and how it can actually look. But then, yeah, I mean, the reason most people feel icky is because there is a traditional sales model out there. And just because it's traditional, somehow it's become the way. And I'm here to tell you, like everything else in life, there's more than one way. It's just that very few people out there have either found that way or embraced that way, at least enough to teach it, is what I'm finding. And so the old way, the old school traditional way, just keeps on being the one that's perpetuated: fear-based, scarcity, tricks, manipulation. So of course you should feel sleazy, because it is. When you're forcing and trying to convince and manipulate people into working with you, yeah. So give yourself permission to feel sleazy about that, because when you think used car salesman, there's a reason that it feels like you used car salesman. And so yes, some of it is mindset and overcoming some stories, but some of it is very much rooted in a traditional approach that we've had that is broken. And so I just wanted to help people understand why we are where we are, because this model was created hundreds of years ago for men by men, that's neither here nor there, but for a particular type of man, even that schmoozy, sleazy, like, I'm going to get mine kind of person. And so it's time for an upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that you said that too. And because it was created for men by men, and that's simply just because at the time that like sales really, became a thing, women were like not really like in that, so they weren't even taken into consideration. But I also think that it's beyond that, like you said, because it's for a specific type of man. It's not necessarily saying like that sales has to, like, a feminine, sales approach is saying that you're not masculine, but it's just saying, like, if you're not that macho, like, again, like, you're not the used car salesman type of person, like, why would you want to sell that way, no matter whether you're a man or a woman? Like, it's that pushy, and again, it's changed. And I don't know for you, Jana, and I guess I didn't include too that I do also have a background in sales, so I know exactly what you're talking about. But a lot of it has, like, I guess in your experience, what has really worked for you when it has come to selling, and how? Well, let's start there.
Okay. So great question. And, really, you kind of hit the nail on the head. And again, this is not masculine, feminine, as in like boy, girl. This is just more of a heart based energy, meaning really what I started to do. So I mentioned I've done over 40,000 sales calls, but I started selling my way maybe 30, 35,000. So I had plenty under my belt that didn't work, right?
Mhm.
Because I was just, and I see this in business in general, this is the way you need to do it this way. It's plug and play. Say this, if they say that, you say this. If they say that, and it just wasn't working for me. So I had my own little come to Jesus. And I said, well, if this isn't working for me because it doesn't feel good internally and therefore externally, obviously it's not going to work. And so I just leaned in and started leading with my heart. In other words, as simple as it sounds, everybody, I actually just stopped thinking about the numbers and the clients and the all for me, like me. I basically stopped thinking about me and started thinking about the person in front of me and how I could best serve them. And typically in a world that is so full of people talking at each other and one-upping each other and trying to distract each other, what was very powerful is the art of active listening and actually being engaged with that person, hearing them, and then also really letting them know how much I understood them. And it just sort of happened naturally for me. But it was because I was listening to that voice that we all have inside, and it was like, hey, psst, clearly that way's not working for you. How about you give it a try your way? And when I did that, everything changed. Everything changed. Not only could I get into places that I wasn't able to get into, they actually look forward to seeing me.
Yeah, exactly.
So screw the numbers piece, that just came by default, but it just was just an entirely different experience. And it was because I cared, and I had this ability, which I teach a lot. It's a big part of what I end up having to teach, is I had this ability to disassociate and detach and just be what I needed to be for that person and not have all this garbage running around in my head about quotas and numbers and clients and blah, 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 blah. And so that's the most simplistic answer, is I actually truly cared. I know a lot of people say sales is service, but even that is lip service in a lot of way for a lot of people. They're like, sales is service. All right, how many do I have to do this month to get to where, it's like,
yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with wanting, let me be clear for everybody that's listening. There's nothing wrong with wanting to succeed. However, that pressure of numbers and that forceful energy does not need to be present in the sales conversation. There's plenty of time for you to look at your numbers at a different time, but being able to separate those two so that you can show up as all of you is super important.
Yeah, I love that. And I want to take a moment here, too. I know we have, several people with us to just mention, as I mentioned in the beginning, Jana is an amazing coach, and we're lucky enough to have her as one of the 9 coaches and experts inside of the Strategy and Support Society, which is a subscription-based membership where you literally get access to her coaching once a month. She's doing a session on Friday, actually. So this is the perfect time for this session. She has a session coming up this Friday where you can literally come in and have these conversations with her. You can bring your issues, what's coming up, what's holding you back, and actually get her help to get past it. Plus, beyond that, you also have access, basically like you have her on speed dial at any point, because we have voice and text messaging support. So if you're going into a sales call the next day and you're getting a little freaked out and you need someone to really talk you through, this process, that is what Jana is there for. And we do have a special right now where it's only a $1 trial to get her support. Okay. And I'm going to share that link. I think I'll share it here in the comments, but I'll put it up on the screen here in a second. But I just wanted to mention, working with someone like Jana, like, yes, the major transformations in your world are going to come when you work with a coach one-on-one. But sometimes all you need is that little hand holding, right, to get you over that hump. So really, again, Friday, I mean, we have recordings, but you want to experience this live. So that being said, I want to come back to what you were saying, Jana, about, selling being service. And, I've said that, and I know a lot of people saying selling is serving, and then to someone on the other side of that, right, who is just like, okay, sure, Jana, sure, Lori, selling is serving. You're probably like, yeah, but I need to sell. I want to serve people. I want to help people, but I need to sell. But I also think coming in with that energy, like you said, is just, we go in with that, like, almost like a desperation. And I was literally, when you actually jumped on, Jana, you were like sitting in the waiting room or whatever, to come on here. And I was finishing a voice memo to a client of mine, literally talking like about this exact thing, like where it's like, I need to make this money, I need to get this income coming in. I need. And so that you're going into these, calls with somebody thinking like from that place of desperation, instead of just, how can I best serve that person, right? And that's what we mean by sales is service, because the thing is you're just sharing your magic with them, however you can help them. If you go into it saying, I need to make $5,000 from this person, like, you're probably not going to do it.
Mm-mm. No, I actually always compare it to that desperate guy or girl at the bar, right? They're just throwing themselves at everybody and they're like, look at me, take me home. Okay. I'm going back to like my 20s here, but point being, not me, let me be clear. We've all seen those people, right? And it's that same energy. And so people pick up on that. And so you really have to learn. And I know, I mean, we've all felt that when coaches have said, like, easy to say, easy. But there are actually ways that you can show up and serve and detach from that. Just like there are ways that you could go out, even if you wanted a boyfriend back in the day, and have a good time and just be you and not make it about that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean when you got home that night that you weren't like, oh, I hope soon I meet somebody, right? You're allowed to have, there's space for both, but you don't want to have it right when you're at that bar. Like, hey, how about you? You want to do it? Hey, you. And so that is where we have to learn how to hold our power and serve that person and detach and not make it about, what's in it for me. And so, yes, it is possible. It sounds like an oxymoron, but there's exercises and things you can do to help you be better at showing up just for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to point out one of the comments here. I think this was from Leslie. And she said it can be scary to go against what you've spent thousands to learn, but if you're heart-centered, you can't go far wrong. Yeah, like, so true. Because a lot of us have learned is that other way. We've paid a lot of money to learn that other way.
Yes.
So true.
It's so true. Well, because it does, and I've experienced this, frankly, as you know, Lori, building my business piece, because I know this to be true with sales, because I've experienced the beauty and the magic and the flow of what it can look like when you step into your heart space. But, even I, who've experienced this for so much of my adult life, when it came to building the business piece, it was like, okay, what are the rules? Okay, I have to do A, and then I have to do B, and then I have to do, and I have to do A, B, and C. How many times a day? And so I'm like back in that box again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just so interesting because we work with coaches, and some of them haven't expanded into that area of like, it doesn't have to be one way. And I know that's what probably connected you and I so much, Lori,
yes.
Because you feel that way about building businesses. And I feel that, I feel that way about building businesses too now. But it was a lesson is my point. So for all of you out there that are like, but how could you, that is where the magic is when it comes to enrolling clients or whatever it may be, building your business, it's really about giving yourself permission to do it your way and not, and it's hard because there are so many, I was just talking with a client the other day. It's like, but this plug and play this, plug and play that. Like, and so there's a lot of that out there. But if this is speaking to you and if you're a heart-centered entrepreneur, there's a different way for you than the norm. There's a different, more loving for you and for others way to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, again, just to point out, I'll, pop it back up on the screen again there, but go ahead, join the Strategy and Support Society, because if this is connecting for you and you're just like, yes, oh my God, Jana, literally you can come, even if you don't do anything else in the membership, and you just get Jana's support, like it's so worth it. And I just want to point out a comment, here in the audience. And again, I think this was Leslie actually, and just said it's such amazing support. And she said, I've signed 22 members in my membership since starting and signed a new client. And that's exactly the kind of, results that you're going to get when you are aligned with the way that you're running, whether it's running your business with your marketing or, what we're talking about today, your sales. Right? Because doing business your way doesn't have to be difficult. And when you have that person like Jana, who is just a freaking rock star, again, 40,000 sales calls, right? 40,000 sales calls she has done. So sales is an issue to you. This is the person that you need in your corner helping you. And I just can't express enough how valuable it is to have that support of somebody to help you to see these things, and we're not going to give away all the secrets today. So I'm going to tell you that if you want more, if you want to learn more of this from Jana, then it is time to come to, again, invest the $1, come join her session on Friday. I don't recall what time it is, but even if you join today, you can take advantage before then. You can share your questions, and even if you can't make it live, she can then address them and you can watch the recording. So like I said, it's the Strategy and Support Society. You're getting every aspect of the support that you need in your business, starting with the very basics, but going all the way up to the sales, right? Because you can start a business all you want. You can, do everything that you want. You can be amazing at what you do, whether you're a coach, whether you're a consultant, whether you're a web designer or a social media manager. But when it comes down to it, if you can't sell, the business really you're not going to be able to sustain it, right? The only way to sustain a business is to make sales. So if you aren't selling with ease, and even if you are, you're just not getting the results that you want, or it's not connecting and just happening the way that feels aligned with you, please go ahead, jump in, come see Jana.
I would love to have you there and answer your questions. It really is a beautiful interaction, because you really can come and get coached on specific things, which I think is another thing that can be lacking in this industry sometimes. Is, it's again that just press play and then you've got a specific, but me and my specific situation. And so we're able to actually do that there. You could even bring something as specific as, she said this and I said that. Where did I go wrong? And, one last thing I'll say on sales is this isn't just about a discovery call. This is about doing lives. This is about, being able to introduce yourself, right? And network. This is about doing webinars, and just having a way to communicate who you are, what you do, who you help, and why you do it in a way that really connects and resonates with people. And so I think people just get this idea that sales is just this one, but it's really involved in every step of your process. But again, just to be clear for anybody that joined late, not in that manipulative, pushy, I have to get somebody, convince energy. It can be done in a very beautiful, connected, service-minded, service heart-based way. So All right, that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, exactly. Sales, and I'm just gonna like go on one more on that, and then yes, we'll wrap up here. But sales can feel good. Sales can feel fun. When you do it your way, when you find that way that really connects with you and helps you to connect with your people, it doesn't feel scary. It doesn't feel sleazy. It doesn't feel salesy, because all you're doing is helping people. And the byproduct of that is that you're freaking selling your products. You're making money and you're helping people. You're changing lives and selling like you love it. And that is where we want to get all of you to, is not to a point where, it's just like, oh, okay, fine, I guess I'll go sell. But no, where selling is exciting. Selling is fun. And it is every aspect of what you do. Like, yes, marketing. Marketing is the process of going out and getting the people in, but the messaging that we use, like, that's going to connect. That's sales, right? What you're saying in your content, what you're saying in your DMs, what you're saying in a networking event, it does not matter. What, again, in a live like this, in a webinar, it's all sales. So if you aren't
it really is
100% confident in that, then $1, just $1. Come join us on Friday, okay?
Definitely. And may I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
Lori and I could talk forever, just so that everybody
could.
knows. So you just inspired me, because I didn't mention this before, but any coaches that are out there, you're selling your clients on the strategy, you're on the whole time, like the buy-in. They're not going to get results unless they are buying into what you're saying and are going to actually implement it.
Yes.
So just another, because you are, and I know any of you coaches out there that have coached a lot of clients, like, you're like, I got to make sure that they are picking up what I'm laying down. And that is sales. It may not be framed in the same way you might be thinking about it, but you're selling them essentially on the transformation, even in the program, every step of the way. Because we all know if they don't do whatever needs to be done, they're not going to get the results. So we're always doing that. So, okay. I am for sure done now.
Again, so we can talk all day.
I hope to see you all on Friday.
Yes, we hope to see you all on Friday. Again, $1, and you get into Jana's session Friday live with her. We can talk all about sales, getting you more clients, how to master that message and really connect in a way that feels good and authentic to you. So go ahead, join the trial. And if you don't have it, just send one of us a message and we'll give you that link. It's up on the screen here, and we dropped it in the comments on my Facebook and in the Facebook group.
And I'll have it in mine here shortly.
Yes, exactly. So thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Jana. And again, everybody, just this in general was so helpful, I know, for so many of you. So imagine what Jana's taught you here, but like way more deep. So we'll see you Friday. Not even come join us. We'll see you Friday. Okay. So we'll see you Friday. And yes, Mahendra, you're right. Jana is amazing. And
thank you, Mahendra. I can't see anybody's name, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm flipping back over to Facebook so I can see the names, because it doesn't always show them inside Restream here. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jana, and everybody. Take the leap, get the support, make the sales, and do it in a way that feels easy and not sleazy. So I'll talk to you all soon.
Bye.